Hello guys, it's Carrie, So Much Glitter. Welcome back to my channel. Hi Ellen, I'm so glad that you guys are here. I have found myself on my laptop, so let me mute that. And then I will try to follow along in the chat on my cell phone sitting next to me. And we can probably get started. Welcome, thank you for joining me. Okay, so I just need to find myself on my other device so that I can follow along. I'm hoping the angle and everything is okay for you. If it's not, please let me know. I think I fixed my desk shaking issue from a few weeks ago. And I think I'm just about there. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take a sip of my tea, give you guys time to grab your favorite refreshment and your favorite snack, and then just join me around the craft table. So I do like to start out my Sunday relaxing, number one, but I do have a lot of homework to do today, and I have a lot of Christmas stuff to finish taking down because I am an early riser for Christmas and a late bloomer for taking it down, and then I quickly morph into Valentine's Day. So I do keep up my Christmas tree and it becomes a Valentine's Day tree. But my goal for 2026 was just to have a more positive outlook and put inspiration and positivity kind of out into the atmosphere. So I did pick up this book, A Positive Quotations, at my used bookstore. And I've been enjoying starting my lives with just like a quote that kind of means something to me for the week that's really positive. And I've been using as bookmarks my little playing cards that I decorated for the 12 days of Christmas, but you don't have to use them just for Christmas, but they're fun prompts, and I like to use them if I am lacking inspiration and things like that. Like I don't know what to make. So I've decorated these all with a Christmas paper pack, if you will. And these are just playing cards that I decorated. And then there's different prompts in here, and they don't have to be Christmas if you don't want them to be. So I've been enjoying using these like for bookmarks, and also for when I'm lacking some inspiration for things that I need to get done. Anyway, so I used that today, and so I wanted to kind of focus on change because we're still in January. Like it's January still. January was going by so fast for the first 2 weeks, and then it stopped. So we are just still here trucking right along in January. And January is going to bring about a lot of change for me this year specifically, but probably for everybody. So one quote that I thought was really neat this morning was, "All things must change to something new, to something strange." I do like that quote. I'm trying to pick smaller quotes, and I'm marking them in the book as I go so I can use my clickable stamps that I got at Michael's not too long ago. I do notice that they did raise in price though, so you probably want to get a coupon and just buy a few dollars, but still, we don't need things raising in price. So I kind of want to start putting these for like sentiments and things like that. And then my 2026 goal has been to focus on the positive. So every week I'm writing something in my jar that happened to me that was good and positive. And then New Year's Eve next year, I'll probably do it on a live because I am still going to do the New Year's Eve streamathon next year because I had so much fun doing that. So if you want to go back and watch that live, that's a lot of fun. So I'm going to open these up to focus on the good that I had in my year. So I wrote today's date, and then I'm going to focus on probably my favorite part of the week, which was yesterday. I got to play with my grandson for most of the day until it was his nap time. So we had a lot of fun. So I'm going to, if my pen's going to work, let's see. There we go. I enjoyed... My pen still doesn't want to work. The playtime with my grandson. and I'm not going to put his name just because I'm over here on YouTube and I don't know if his mom and dad will like that, but and it really filled my heart. Like, he's so much fun. Excuse me, my throat's dry already. So we have skipped spring, it seems like, here in San Diego, and we've gone straight to summer because it was like almost 90 yesterday, and it seems like it's going to be fairly warm today, but it's really, really dry out. So that's going to go in my cup for this week. We'll do a little bit of show and tell, basically, because I'm lacking self-control, apparently. I'm supposed to be on a low buy this January, and because I kind of put that intention out there, I'm fighting that a little bit. So my first little show and tell is going to be my notebook that I did do last week on my live, and this is going to be a fun Galentine's Day gift. And today we're going to also make another Galentine's Day gift, but it doesn't have to be just for that. So you can go, I am shaking a little bit. I did notice that when I touched. So let me know if that continues on. I thought I had this tightened, but I might not. Anyway, so I did go to Barnes & Noble because I do work right across the street from Barnes & Noble. And I picked up, this is new. I have a few of these in this set. I think this is my third or fourth one, but these are fairly inexpensive. And then I'm part of the, like the Barnes & Noble rewards or whatever it is. So I get like a few dollars off or 10% off. But I really like these because there's stickers. These are all stickers. There's quotes, there's pages, there's more stickers, there's like fun activities that you can do in here. And I just find this fun to, now this is kind of a lot for my eyeballs to take, but I mean, if you like to do the dot to dot art, but it's fun, mindful trivia. There's the answers in here. You can kind of check yourself, but these are fun to tear apart and use in junk journals or just to use for some mindful time. So I did pick this up from Barnes & Noble. And I also picked up this at Barnes & Noble, and this was a complete impulse buy, and this was not on sale like the last one. But this is a year of junk journaling, and I found this in the Valentine's Day section. I was just like inspired by it, and it's another prompt book, right? It's another prompt book and how you can do junk journaling, and it's this author's journey of junk journaling, basically. So there's like a fun like story in here that you can read and what you can collect, how you can create. So if you're new to junk journaling or just need some inspiration and you don't want to be perusing the internet for hours on end, because that can get really, that can be a dark hole that you get distracted in and then you don't do the things that you want to do. But so I just thought that this was fun for some inspiration over the year, right? And I did get, what, 10-15% off on this as well. So that's fun. But it's just like a lot of things that we can collect. Like these are probably from the Dollar Tree, the doily, you know, look, the cards, just whatever. Like junk journaling is, there's no rules, right? So I did get that. And then because I was at Michael's, and I'm going to be honest with you, the next thing that I'm going to show you, I do not find to be a great buy. I'm just going to be honest, but I had to buy this one because it really just resonated with me, and I'm going to use it not probably how it's intended to be used, but I'm going to use it in my own little way. And this is a junk journaling kit. So if you are new to junk journaling, this might be a good buy for you. I thought my craft knife out here, which I may not anymore. Oh, here it is, right next to me. And then we'll go ahead and just kind of jump into the project, but I wanted to open this up a little bit. So this isn't going to be a full unboxing of this. I don't even know if I want to do like an unboxing of this, like if it would be worth it, but these are fairly expensive if they're not on sale. This was on sale, and I had a rewards, a $5 rewards and a coupon. So they let you double stack your coupons, which I do like. That's one thing I really miss about Joann's. Okay, so this is the Book Club Babe Junk Journal Kit, and I'm a total book girly, so I had to grab this. And this is the journal. and it has the dot grid in it, so that's a lot of fun, so it's not too distracting. And it comes with paper, and I did see somebody do an unboxing of all of these. Like, she went out and purchased all of them. I would not do that. But this is copyweight paper, and it's not double-sided, so you'd probably have to get pretty creative with it. But you know what? I'm okay with that. As crafters, like, that's fun to do. Could make bookmarks out of this because I do have my Mama Mink, so it works as a laminator as well. And let's go over into the goodies. So maybe it is like a little bit of a full unboxing. I'm sorry to distract you. It comes with washi tape. You can never have enough washi tape, right? I don't have book washi tape. I do have washi tape like this, but again, you can never have enough. And it comes with pockets that are pre-made. And the one thing that the girl that did the unboxing, hers were coming undone already, and so is this, because they hot glued them together, so you might have to re-glue them. But just fun pockets, fun stickers that I will use for other things, maybe rating my books, because I do have another book junk journal that I made on my New Year's Eve streamathon. You can go back and watch that. So I'll probably add this to that, honestly, because that's going to be my recording this year. I'm getting ready to finish up an audiobook now, and I'm almost finished with my first physical book. So these are just fun. I don't really do any of the the book club stuff that's organized per se. I just don't have time for it, but you know what? I am like a book club of one, and I don't mind it. And then these are little, they're not chipboard, but little like cardboard, I guess is what we're gonna say. Little cardboard cutouts. So this is fun. This is almost thinner than cardboard actually, but it's fun. Just little pop out die cuts for ephemera. So there's that. So they were on sale for $20, and regularly they're $25. So you know, do what you will with that, but there's lots of them. And I'm going to go ahead and set that off to the side and focus on the project for today. So I hope I stopped doing the shaking. I thought I had evened out my table enough, but maybe not. Okay, I am going to repurpose a tea box. And this is an idea that I got inspired in one of my junk journaling Facebook groups. And I liked how they did it. Her tea box was a lot different than mine. And I think at the end she put her tea box back together. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I am going to, I think I printed enough. If I didn't, I'll print more. It's no big deal. I'm going to cover this and cover this, and it's going to be like a journal, basically. I'm going to have to trim a side down just a little bit. So we're going to have to do a little bit of reconstruction. I also have a low grit sand block that I'm going to use for this side for my paper to adhere to a little bit better. So if you wanted to like follow along or use this idea for you and take notes while you're just kind of relaxing and watching, I do find this easier, and I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac as well, to glue down paper to a smooth surface that's like waxed or treated, because I have like Jiffy boxes, Rice-A-Roni boxes that I've made journals of before, and that even with the Fabri-Tac, sometimes the paper just doesn't stick because this is like waxed and treated a little bit. So that's just kind of a tidbit that I picked up. But I am going to use the kit. Let me find it so I do not misquote it. It is a Flicker on the Silver Screen Junk Journal Ephemera, and this is from Sweet Pea Curiosities. I've used this kit before. If you want to go back and check my my Instagram, I've made cards out of this before. I do have printable glitter paper. This stuff is pure magic. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if I'm doing it any justice with my camera, but it's so pretty, and it is glitter paper, but it's smooth, like the glitter's embedded into the paper. I could write on it. I could probably stamp on it if I had the right ink, and it just makes these images glittery. I love it. I absolutely love it. That is cool, huh, Ellen? Snow, wow, how much snow do you guys have? Yeah, we're pretty warm. We got really warm really quick, and then next week it's going to be pretty cool again. Where I am, we get snow about once every 20 years. And the last time that we got snow, my son was a senior in high school. And then before that, it was 20 years before that and 20 years before that. So, you know, that's how it works. And, you know, it's Southern California, so it's always just a little bit. But we did have fun going to the snow when that happened. And so I'm just going to kind of go through here, and I'm going to use this. And I had really an idea of using the pens that I purchased that are right here, from the Panda Fly pens, the gel pens. And I tried these on my live last week, and they're just ready to go. I absolutely love them. They were a great deal on Amazon. But I thought to make this more of a functional journal, like I wanted to pick some images where you could write something on here. You could write something over it. You could write something in the blank space. So you can still see the picture, but you can make it functional for yourself as well. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the link for that now. Oh, snow does get messy. Yeah, like I grew up where it was like really wet snow. So yeah, it does get messy. Let's see. Okay. So I hope that link worked. Let me see. I have my Grammarly that wants to check everything before I, hold on. It's not going to let me put the link in the chat because the link is too long. Hold on. Yeah, it's not going to let me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link to her shop. It's Marisa with Sweet Pea Curiosities, because there's another kit from her shop that I'm using too today. Let me just go back to her shop. I'll go to Sweet Pea Curiosities. Did you mean the shop Sweet Pea Curiosities? Well, yes, I did. It wants to correct me. Okay. There we go. Okay, so that is Marisa's link right in the chat right now, and these are all kits from her her shop. Okay, so the next kit that I have that I'm going to use, I wanted to use this as the cover for this. I printed 2 sheets. I'm hoping that that's enough. And this is silver embossed papers, and this comes with a lot, and it's realistic looking, and I really like it. So I wanted this to be reminiscent of what's going to be going on the inside as well. And these are cut aparts that I had printed previously because I did make cards from this kit, like I said. And this is part of what I had left over. I did get out her mixed media flowers as well. This might be too big and I might have to cut them in half or not use them at all, but I don't know. We're just going to kind of go with it and see what we want to do. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep my tea box first. It is really nice paper. I like it. I love her paper. I love her, I might start shaking here. I am shaking. Okay. I'm going to try to be gentle. My table just doesn't seem to want to get even for some reason, and I don't know why. So I hope that this isn't bothering you. If it's bothering you, let me know. I have a little table next to me that I could just do this really quick on. My son even came over here and helped me like make it even because it's his old desk. But, you know, nothing is going to be perfect. Perfection's an illusion that we like to create to disappoint ourselves, and sometimes it's just not worth all of that aggravation. Now, I don't get too far into prepping this, right? I just want to scuff it up a little bit and make it more of a matte surface is all I want to do, because I want my paper to stick to it and stay with it. Because if I am giving this away for a fun Galentine's Day gift, or if you want to make this and you're giving this away, you want it to last for the recipient, right? So we're just going to kind of do it again on the other side of my block, just because I'm silly that way. And it is really nice paper. I really love Marisa's paper, you guys. Like, go check her out, and she's fairly inexpensive. And okay, so there we are with that. My first order of business is going to be to use my glue, and I do use the PVA glue. And let me get it to where I can see again. Okay, I'm going to use the glue, and then I'm going to have the paper sitting next to me. And if you guys want to click on her link and go grab that, be my guest. Like, I highly encourage that. So I'm going to try to take off these extra pieces. And I am going to glue these little flaps down. Hopefully, oh, I'm going to have to, you know, half of the week okay. I have to see it correctly. Half of the week I left this off on my desk. So just like 2 or 3 days ago, I was like, oh no, I left my my lid off of my glue. Like, that's not going to be good the next time I want to go use it. So it might be clogged now. Oh no, it's fine. But I'm going to try to get enough glue on it. And I do have the fine tip on here because I like it a little bit better. The other one rushes too much glue out at once, and it's really short. I don't like it at all. But I've heard mixed reviews. Some people like that, and some people don't like the fine tip. Some people like the fine tip. Like, it comes with different tips, so you can kind of decide how you want to do that. But all these little flaps from my tea box are gonna be glued down because I don't need them. I don't want them. If you want to use them for something, be my guest. I am going to need to trim this side down a little bit more just because of how I want to have the enclosure. And not all tea boxes are made the same either. So, like, use what you have. And if you want to use this as an idea for like a little Jiffy box or a Rice-A-Roni box or whatever, or cut down a cereal box, use what you have. And then the fun part will be decorating it, basically. Like, this is going to be the hardest part of the project, and then measuring. If you've been watching me, you know that measuring is probably not my favorite, and that's weird for a crafter to say. I got it. Let me see if I can kind of peel that up a little bit. Yeah, because it just feels really thick right there. Okay. And I'm going to try to make it as even, as smooth as I can. I could probably sand this down if I want, which might make it worth it. And then I'm shaking again. So sorry for that. I'm going to have to figure that out because that can't be like a permanent thing. You don't need to feel dizzy when you watch me. My tripod is connected. It's probably because it is connected to my desk, and that's what it's meant to be. But if that's not working out, I might have to get a new one. And that might be where I'm going. And you see I'm scuffing off the surface right here. This is fine. I don't mind that at all, actually, because this is just a little background piece that I got at the Dollar Tree. And it's meant to reduce the glare because I did purchase that glass mat that I'm really enjoying. And I like the glass mat a little bit better than the mat that's under it just because it's a little bit more stable. Okay. Oh, good. So I'm not the only crafter that hates to measure, right, Ellen? That's good. Okay, and then this side, I'm going to glue down. Up, and then there's even It gives you a little note. It says, uncover your inner ooh la la. That's what we're doing, right? We drank the tea. The tea's in the tea caddy in the kitchen. And now we are reusing the tea box and getting our crafty ooh la la on here. Okay, so this side I'm gonna have to trim down because this goes over a little bit. So I'm just gonna mark it with my pencil. And I did just bump the camera, so my apologies. And I'm probably just gonna mark it right here just so I know it'll close. Yeah, maybe even over a little bit more. And I'll do the longer mark so I know which is the good mark, right? And I'm gonna trim that down. I'm going to use my We Are the trimmer Craftalanche. I'm going to use the We Are guillotine trimmer. I do like this. It cuts a little bit heavier paper, as we just struggled, but it does better than my paper trimmer. Okay, so then I just want to see if that's going to fold over. So now that's going to close in. I might even want to, I don't really want to break apart this. That's going to be kind of weird, isn't it? You know what? You just kind of have to decide how you want it to be closed, like that. So this is how I'm going to have like the little booklet closed. So it's going to overlap a little bit, but that's not, in the grand scheme of things, I don't know if that's really going to matter. So there we are with that. I do want this silver embossed, the mixed media, what is she calling it? Silver embossed papers. It's for mixed media is how they're labeling it. I do want to have this be on the outside. Now, instead of getting out like my ruler and measuring everything, just so I'm just going to probably mark it with my pencil, and that's what we're going to do. Hi, Juju. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So we're just kind of repurposing a fun tea box using some, well, I think are Galentine's Day images, but we're using some fun movie images. So this is also inspired from my trip to Warner Brothers that I just did in December when I did the Gilmore Girls holiday tour of Stars Hollow, and then we did the whole tour of Warner Brothers. And then I saw this kit in my stash on my computer, and I was like, you know what? That is perfect. I want to use that. I think that that would be a fun, like, little Galentine's Day gift. Okay, here we go. We're gonna trim this, and I do not know that I can read my mark. Of course I can't, because I am me. So I'm gonna go back over here, and I don't even think that I did it thick enough that time. Well, that's a real bummer, isn't it? Okay, hold on. I probably need more than my pencil. I probably need like a pen so I can see it. There we go. So let me get out my pen because I'm putting lead on silver and that's just not working. Okay. There we go. So what is everybody up to on this fine Sunday? I am doing this. So this is a little bit shorter. I'm probably just going to use it like this because my measuring skills aren't the greatest just because I am me. I'm going to ink it. What I'm going to do, because this is like a flicker of the silver screen and a lot of this paper is really old and it's very reminiscent of like, the old silver screen. I'm going to end up inking that. Okay. So don't worry. And it's okay if it's like a little bit not everything's perfect because perfection is an illusion. So we can disappoint ourselves and yada, yada, but I think we're good with improvising on our imperfections. Okay, and then I'm just going to try to get this right at the end. Then I'm going to keep trimming this up. And I hope my desk doesn't shake anymore for you. If it does and it bothers you, please let me know. And I'll go ahead and try to tone that down. But I do believe it might be my tripod now I think about it. Okay. Let's get the box before I lose it. And so you kind of see how this is going. I'm just going to be covering this up. I don't need this to like match up like a puzzle. Like that, you could do that. You very well could do that. Like this, like everything would look just, you know, nice and matchy. I don't necessarily need to do that though, because this is like a form of junk journaling, basically, us repurposing this box. And let's just kind of put this on the seam. I'm going to need to trim that down just a little bit because you can see my mark, but it's okay. So I will do that and then I'll figure that out. And just kind of mark it right there. If you really feel the need to measure, you can. You craft your way. This kind of makes it, so this, because I want to get the, I really don't want that mark on there. So this will be a little bit shorter, and so then I'm okay with that. That'll just call for a little bit more inking, which, no worries. Okay, so I'm going to put my scraps over to the side, and here we go with this. And you're going to get a little bit of the purple in the background, even with me inking it. That's okay, because I'm using this as kind of like a Galentine's Day gift. So I think that that's fine. That would kind of have to be at your discretion how much that bothers you, if you're uneven or not. But I'm not going to, yeah. Like if I sit here and measure, Juju, I will drive myself insane and I won't have any fun with the crafting. So I just kind of like, this is how I measure sometimes. And, you know, like I know how, you know, in 5x7 card and an A2 and all that, like I know those measurements. Yeah, I got that. But, you know, when we're creating stuff like this and you're just kind of like going, like, I don't know, you just keep going until it fits. That's what I do. Okay. And let's see. This actually, yeah, I hate measuring. See? Hey, Tracy. Yeah, see? Now all the crafters are coming out being like, I hate measuring. Yay. Like we started an honest movement in 2026. I like it because I watch some creators, they're measuring everything in the 1/8 of an inch. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Speaking of measuring, I am making a sourdough loaf today, and I am attempting a dill pickle sourdough loaf. I love dill pickles. If you don't like it, you know, it's probably not going to be your thing. But everything with making sourdough is very much in grams and measuring, and like it's very finicky, and people get so stressed out about it. I am like, I want to do this. Like, I love baking. I really do. But I don't want to sit here and drive myself insane with all of these grams and measurements and whatever it is. So I do everything in cups and teaspoons, like the way my grandma taught me how to bake. That's how I do it. But that's what I'm attempting today. Hi, welcome. So see, H-Mom doesn't like measuring either. We've started a movement. But that's what I'm doing. Taking down the Christmas stuff. Doing some self-care Sunday with you guys. Oh, did I completely mismeasured that one maybe? That needs to be trimmed down a little bit. And I have a paper to write. I have, after this class, I think I have 2 or 3 more classes. I think I have 3. I'm ready to be done with my master's degree. I'm just so tired. I'm ready to be done. We have a lot of change with our current contract because I'm in community mental health. And so the change that's coming up in 2026 for me is probably going to be a lot of workplace change. So I'm just like in the mood to do the fun and happy stuff. So who needs all the dang measuring, right? Okay, so I'm going to start gluing this on. And what is going to be better for me is I'm going to use my magnets up here. This is what I love about this new mat that I bought, is the magnets. I love it. I am going to ink up before I get started. I could use the brush corduroy. Now I have purple going on too, so some purple is going to be sticking out of there. I have ground espresso, which seems like that might be too dark. Tea dye is one of my absolute favorites. I do like vintage photo, but I do not have a big one of vintage photo. I think I have a small or old paper. That might be fun. Okay. I'll look at these. I think I have a small vintage photo somewhere, but I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So I could do old paper, but old paper is looking a little bit green for me, so I'm probably not going to do that. My brush corduroy and tea dye, those are like my go-tos. And if I go see kind of what colors I have in here, to me, I like the brush corduroy. I'm not mad at the tea dye, so I mean, I think I'm probably going to go with my brush corduroy. If that's like, wait, okay. I'm like, wait, did I put the wrong one away? If that is a fatal mistake of mine on my project, let that be the only one I make. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm trying not to shake the table. Sorry. I'm just going to ink up as much as I can because I know I'm gonna have a little bit of see-through. And that'll just kind of give it an added layer of dimension. And you could use any tea box that you have. Like I said, it doesn't need to be a tea box, but that's just kind of the inspiration that I got. And I love tea. I do not drink coffee because it really raises my blood pressure and it gives me headaches really bad and heart palpitations. So I drink the tea because I do need caffeine. Tea and soda don't do that to me, only coffee. But I was like, I have these tea boxes sitting around and I hadn't taken out the recycling yet. So I was like, you know what? That would be fun. Just a fun little junk journaling booklet. You could completely repurpose this box, zhuzh it up however you want, and then fold it back together if that's what you wanted to do. You don't even have to really use it how I'm using it. You could use it any way you want. Okay, so let's finish up the inking. And another good thing about these little mats from the Dollar Tree, I think they're like sticky tiles or something, like you could stick them on the wall, is you can get them as messy and dirty as you want and switch it out. And they are, my Dollar Tree's $1.75 now, so there's that. They are the dollar, whatever, $1.75, $1.25, wherever you are. I know in different areas it's different, but see, like I'm gonna have this purple poking out. Not mad about it. It'll be okay. It'll just kind of add to it. Everything stayed in place. I didn't lose the papers of where it was supposed to go. I like it. I like it. And I will get out my, oh wait, I said I wanted to use my Fabri-Tac, didn't I? Because I did treat it with the low grit sand block, so I would have better luck with adhering. I'm going to put this on the paper. I normally put my Fabri-Tac not on the paper because it's like a heavy glue and it can kind of curl things. But because this isn't going to fit over the whole thing, really, I'm going to have a little bit of overage here. but the paper's not going to cover everything, so I'll get it on there the best I can. I think I put it upside down. I'm famous for doing that. I did that with my book journal, but you know what? I'm using that, like recording my books that I'm reading in 2026, and that's actually a kit that I got from Lottie's Magic Attic. I'm sorry, it's Sunday. Oh no. So that's a lot of fun. And that's going to kind of be like a year-long journal that I made too for myself. I like these projects that you keep using them. Like you don't make them and then you just shove them on a shelf and they go away. I like the versatility of a project that we can keep using, right? Like I have made a lot of journals for my grandson, like his first year of life. Oh, I think I said I was going to be sharing that today too. And I don't remember. Oh, it's over there. Maybe I'll get to that at the end. But I like the projects that we can keep. We create, and it's a purposeful project we keep using. So, because I'm like any other crafter here, probably. I have a crafting hoarding problem. And I don't know if it's necessarily a problem, but it could be. Depending on what bills or whatnot I have. So I need to remember to use what I have and not go out and buy like the newest, trendiest stuff. And that's really hard where I work. I'm right across the street from Michael's, Barnes & Noble, Ulta, Target. Like, I don't know. The struggle's real sometimes. Oh, Tracy, I love this paper too. It's from Sweet Pea Curiosities. It's really, I'm going to say just descriptive. Like, it really stands out. And it gets the point across to what it is. And it prints out beautifully on my printer and my paper. I used Koala matte, photo matte cardstock. And it's like, I think it's 42 pounds, I think. And I buy it on Amazon because it's a reasonable price. And it just prints out beautifully. And it's double-sided. So, because I can't fight with the shiny side, the not shiny side, and how do I put it in this printer versus that printer, and I don't have the patience for all that. I just want to create. There we go. Okay. Oh, Ellen, you're talking books. I love the books. I love getting book recs from people in the crafty community because I find that a lot of us are readers too. Twice Kissed and The Widow by John Grisham. Oh. I recently, well, throughout last year, I read The Housemaid of Frida McFadden, and I went and saw the movie over my vacation after Christmas. Loved it. I really liked it. Although the movie was different than the book. I mean, that's natural, I guess. And I read the second one. I really liked The Housemaid. I really liked the book. The first book I devoured in like a week. And I normally do not read books that fast because I work full time. I'm going to school. Like I have stuff. And so I don't always have time. But I devoured that book. I loved it. And so I had higher hopes for the movie. But the movie wasn't bad. I just don't think that they could have showed a lot what was in the movie. But they left a few characters out, which was kind of disappointing. I wasn't scared, but I do like scary things. I like suspense. I like a lot of murder mysteries. So there we go. So that's how this is going to fold. And I'm probably going to tie a ribbon around it. And I do realize I have an overlay here. I'm okay with that too. I might even do like a Velcro enclosure, but I'm not really sure with that quite yet. So I'm going to put this up here. My idea for the back portions, which I could still continue to use this because these kits go together really well. I wanted to use like the blah blah blah, if I can figure out what I'm saying, the film roll. I thought that would be fun, but I don't necessarily need to do the film roll throughout the whole thing. I can kind of mix it up a little bit. Because I do want to do embellishment, and these might need to be trimmed down just a little bit. And I wanted to do tip outs and tuck spots and things like that. Like, I think that these ladies and some of this background would look really nicely over this. And I had to put in these because who doesn't love like watching a suspenseful, fun, scary movie or like a rom-com? I don't know, I do. So I do love the mystery books as well. So I'm gonna take another sip of my tea because it's so dang dry here. And I am going to cut this down. We're gonna do my carry measuring here, which come to find out, it's a lot of our measuring. So I love that. Okay. So let me get over here. And this is going to be right here. And I probably, if I mismeasure this a little bit and you're able to see the cardboard in the back, I probably don't need to do any more inking because just the color of the cardboard. That'll be good. Okay. I was like, okay, of course, now I can't see it. Like, I'm cursed with using the same color pen as my, oh, that's really short, isn't it? Well, how did I get it that short? Darn me. Well, that was kooky. I may need to print more if I can't get it together. Okay. We can do our best. That's all we can do. All right. I might use those pieces anyway. We'll see. And because it's a tea box, there's like no specific measurements, right? Okay, let's see if that one fits a little bit better. It does, just a little bit, so there's not as much overage. So that's fine with me. And let's see if any of these can be used for this, so that I'm not having to use a fresh new cut every single time. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut off to the side while I have it here. And there we go. There we go. I have this, that's a little bit too short. This is fun. Okay, and then I'm probably going to cover this with the film roll, and then I'm going to look through the rest of it and see what else we have going on. Once we have like the background paper done, the rest is just going to flow, and it's going to be a fun time doing all the embellishments, I think. Okay, so this one, oh, perfect. That's how I'm going to use it. And like I sanded this down a little bit. I thought I sanded it down more than I did. I'm just going to tear this up. This is just their glue, the manufacturer's glue. And I'm just going to sand it down just a little bit more while I'm shaking the table. Sorry. I'm going to have to figure out my tripod stitch. Okay. And then that I can ink up. That's not that big of a deal. And so I just need to trim this down just a tiny bit. There we go. Has anyone ever done a project like this? Like, I just kind of saw the idea and then I was like, oh, like, yeah, I could do that. So if you've done a project like this before, let me know, and let me know how you liked it and if it turned out. Okay, so let's get my everything else off to the side. See, some of these might be a little bit too small, but I think that would be okay for this one. Like, I like the film roll. I like the idea of, now I have glitter all over it. That's from my rock candy. I've had glitter on my desk for a while, since I used that rock candy during Christmas. And I really liked the, oh, I cut it a little bit too short. That's okay. I really like the idea of using my gel pens. Yeah, see, that's going to be really short. So I do want a background on that. Now I'm going to go back to, I was going to say I want to go back to my silver screen, but you know what, or the silver embossed, but having all the silver embossed as the cover and the film roll is the inside is kind of fun. So let me find that. Okay. And let's just trim it right here. And like I said, this was inspired by like Galentine's Day and then my trip to the Warner Brothers studio tour to go to Stars Hollow over Christmas. And I love it when I have stuff in my stash that coincides with like the inspiration that like I have in my head. I really do like that. I think that works out really well. Okay, here we go. And we don't want my pen marks in the project, but we want them to trim, be able to trim it down. See, so I might have to ink a little bit, but it's okay. Not that big of a deal. While I'm doing that, let me head over to I'm going to go ahead and go to Lottie's Etsy. And because I appreciate you being here today, Tracy. Thank you so much. Because she's got lots of good stuff too. So that book, the book journal that I made, I got from Lottie's Magic Addict as well. Okay. Now everything's kind of in the way, but not really. Okay. And of course the line that I do isn't going to be perfectly straight, right? Oh goodness. It is okay. Okay, hold on. I have to look. I think I'm cutting on the wrong line is what the problem is. Oh, maybe not, no. I was looking at the wrong side. You're welcome. It's fun just to peruse on Etsy. Like, I don't know. That's where I get a lot of inspiration too. And if you want to check out Sweet Pea Curiosities, that's where all this paper comes from that I'm using today. And that link is also in there. And if you guys just want to follow along my like little creative journey, I would love to have you along. Not every crafty community is as friendly as the next, I've learned. So I really just try to facilitate like a really positive creative experience for everybody. And I like to be a part of that with other people too. And with like Lottie's Facebook group and using Sweet Pea Curiosity, Marisa, like those are two creators that are really, like they really embrace the positivity of the crafting community. And I think that's really important. There's a lot of creators that do, but there is a lot of places on the internet that don't either. And that's just the nature of that beast, I think. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the front. And I'm going to use my handy dandy magnets so I know where everything belongs, so to speak. Watch me forget. And I am going to ink up over here. I wasn't going to, but I think just for the sake of making everything a little bit even and not having this stark white sitting out. And we're going to uncover our inner ooh la la through creating. I never knew that the Tazo tea boxes had little sayings. The other tea box that I have kind of waiting in the wings for this, doing something like this, is Bigelow, I think. It's Bigelow because my daughter drinks their matcha turmeric tea. So let's see if they can live up to the fun little tea positivities, so to say. Okay. Hey, Yolandi, it's so nice to see you. Or I think I'm saying your name wrong, but Hooked on Phonics. I know Biddy says your name differently. Yolande. Positivities, yes. Yes, Lisa, exactly. Okay, so now I'm just going to start gluing this down. I am going to use, maybe not. You know what? I don't need to use my Fabri-Tac on this side because this is the untreated cardboard side. So we don't need to use that. I was thinking I needed to, but they don't treat the inside of it. I'm sorry that happened to you, Ellen. That really sucks. Like, there's no other better way to say that. That sucks. People on the internet, man, I don't know what happens to us. Well, not me, but, and I don't think any of you, but people in general. Like, what happens to people when they get on the internet? I don't know. Like, no rules or no common courtesy is what it is. The stuff I see sometimes, I'm like, oh, I'm embarrassed for you. And sometimes it's people that I know. Oh gosh. I let them know that I'm embarrassed for them though, because at my age, whatever. We all have to be accountable sometimes. Well, especially in my line of work, I'm accountable all the time. So I don't know where people think that they can get off just not being accountable. Yeah, a big head, low vocabulary. I don't know what it is. Okay. And the beautiful part about this around it, because it's like grunged up enough. I don't know if grunge is the right word for this, but it's, you know, vintage distressed enough. And this is white core paper, so if you wanted to ink up the edges, you could. And if I'm putting something like on a white background or like a white card or journal or something like that, I will ink up the edges because oh, look at that. Oh, I double-sided. Oh, you know what happened? My printer glitched and it started to print and then it just spit back out the rest of the paper. I was like, what are you doing? I don't know what happened to it. I overwhelmed it maybe with asking it to do too many things at once. I can do that. So it looks like I reverse print, but I didn't. Anyway. And that's not going to be a perfect cut, but yeah, sometimes if you have like white things, like a white background and white core paper and light colored, you know, cut out or whatever, it's nice to ink up the edges because it helps make it pop a little bit better. And it covers up any fussy cutting mistakes. I love fussy cutting, but I'm not perfect at it, so. Yeah, Ellen, I think that that's good that you didn't give up too, because that is something that happens like that's really discouraging. You're like, well, bye, crafty people. Like, what's wrong with those people? You just got to kind of keep looking for your people. Okay, so let's see. So now this is obviously a little bit thicker because it's paper, right? So it's cardboard and we put paper on paper. But I'm just going to kind of keep folding it and training it. Excuse me. And did you lose the sound? I have me on mute on the device that I'm watching myself on. Can everybody else hear me? Okay, so I'm going to keep training that. I'm going to keep going until you guys let me know, because I don't know what happened with it then. How did you all lose sound? What happened? So nobody can hear me, is that correct? Like there's no sound? What? I don't know what would have happened. Okay, is it back for you now? So that must be a YouTube thing, unless if it's my internet, but I didn't get a notification that my internet got disrupted or there was an outage or something, unless if it was just really quick. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys can hear me. I was like, I don't know what I did. Uh-oh. That pesky internet or YouTube and whatever. It was mad at me for talking about it, huh? That's what I get. Okay, so I'm going to put this back. And now is the fun part. I am going to start doing some tip outs and... Oh, yes, thank you. If you still can't, go out and come back, because if some people can and some people can't, I would assume that means it's not on my end, but if it is, let me know. Oh, good. I'm glad. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so this is going to be a fun, like, cinema golden age of movies. Here we are. Let's focus on one thing at a time, Carrie. Let's do that first. That would be helpful. And let me find my scissors. Oh, my jar is dropping because I'm shaking things up a little bit. And I know, like, sometimes my desk is shaking. I'm going to try to fix that. Okay. So this is a smaller one that I can use. Although I like these ones a little bit better, but I think we might need some red in there. But I'm going to cut a few of them out just to see. But I don't want to have to, like, lose the integrity of the image necessarily by having to do a lot of trimming down. I am going to be making some cards out of my leftover, they're not scraps, but out of my leftovers from this kit, because I printed out extra and I had some scraps already. I'm probably going to do that tonight because I do have tomorrow off. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. I needed this 3-day weekend. Like, I need to retire, like, now. After having 2 weeks off this year at Christmas time, and I've been, you know, oh guys, toxic leadership can really ruin a day. But yeah, I've been kind of, you know, let know that should not be a regular occurrence. And now I'm back. I already have 40 hours built up in my bank. So it's like, okay, come on. Okay, so I'm probably just going to need to trim this down a little bit, which I'm fine with. But I like having this up here and then maybe tucking something little right there. Although I don't know that there's a whole lot of little stuff in here. But somebody could tuck a note in there as well. I could cut out an image and fold it in half, and they could write on the back. I think I do have my line stamp out, so that's what I'm going to do. So these little peaks right here are going to be just trimmed off, which I'm okay with. I mean, if that bothers you, then you could resize these images. I'm not very good at doing that, but I know you can. I know it's possible because I've seen people do it. I just cannot figure it out in my printer settings. Oh, I'm sorry, Yolandi, but I'm glad you came. Thank you so much. If anyone else is still having trouble hearing me, let me know. Okay, so if you're not having sound right now, if you could go out and come back in and see if that helps, let me know. Okay. Oh, and I did not leave a spot. That's fine. We will be fine. Okay. So what I am going to do is I have this here. Are we still having issues with the sound? If you can hear me, let me know if you can hear me. I don't know what's going on. I think it's a YouTube thing because I'm not getting any notifications that my internet is glitching, and the device I'm recording on seems to keep, it's like it's going. I'm going to glue this here. Oh, this, Lisa, thank you for asking. This is a glue press, and it's from My Sweet Petunia. And I ordered it off of their website directly, actually, when it was on sale. They have a hard time keeping it in stock. I do know scrapbook.com has it. May Made It has it, because I've shopped on her website before and I've seen it. You could order it directly. Ranger, I thought had it, but I don't know. Oh, good. I'm glad you can hear me. Okay, so I'm gonna I fully want to take advantage of this glitter paper, and I don't want a lot of extra space and it not be used. So I did get this glitter paper at Walmart. The first time I got it in the store at Walmart, if you can see it, and it just prints up like glittery on the page. I absolutely love it. And it just like makes your images, I don't know, so fun, right? I think. Okay, so I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to pretend like I can cut a straight line. That's what we're doing right with this moment in time. As you can see, my brain is like, don't do that. Don't do that. But that's what I'm doing. Oh, I'm going to have to trim it down a little bit more, of course. That's okay. I'm going to have to trim a lot off, so then it's going to be a little bit uneven, but we're going to be fine. I'll get through it. But I just thought that this would be fun. Unless if it can go here. Oh, it could have. It could have. Let's see. So I'm going to have to just trim this down just a little bit. So my idea might have busted just a little bit, but whatever. At least we still get the glitter on here. Thank you, Tracy. I believe in myself too. That's why I just went ahead and did it like I knew what I was doing. I'm gonna make this a pocket, and then we can put a little tag in here. And we could write a little message on here. So there's so much possibility for something like this when we're repurposing it. I'm gonna look for a tag because this kit has fun tags too. And I could cut a tag down, and the pocket will be back here. If you see, there's my mark right there. But you know what? I'm gonna cover that up a little bit. There we go. I was trying to get ideas of what to write on it, but let's see. Let me get out my, and it's Flicker of the Silver Screen, but I think, goodness gracious. Okay, these are all white. I'm going to use gold, and I want to save that. some of these I don't save everything. And what I love about these gel pens is it's ready to go. It is ready to go. There's no priming it. My other ones that I have to like get it ready and get it going, and this is just ready to go. Let's see what I want to write. I don't really know what I want to write, but and I don't have the neatest handwriting. A gift to you. And I'm going to write under here. Shine bright. And then they can write their own information in there. Marisa, welcome. I'm so glad you're here too. And then I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to cut this tag down and I'm going to put this on here. And I could poke a hole in it. I could put a little bit of a ribbon, and I have a ribbon right behind me that's kind of in my mind right now that I could use. So I think that that would be fun. So we know. I'm going to have to trim this down clearly, right? Because that's a little bit too thick. So I have my trimmer off to the side. And I'm just going to trim it down just a tiny bit. I don't want to trim it down too much because I don't want to lose the purpose of the tag, like the design. Okay. Let's see if that'll fit in the pocket now. No, that won't fit in the pocket now. I might have made it too tight is what I did. Okay. Well. No worries, no worries. We'll just keep going at it. Until we can get it in there. There we go. Now it's going to start. I think that's going to take a little bit of moving around because it's pretty tight in there. So, and that's probably just me, but it's going to take a little bit of training with this to do that. So I'm just going to save that there because I am going to want to continue to train it. I'm going to put my bone folder in here. And because it's paper, you can train paper. That's what I'm going to do. So it can fit in here. But because the cardboard's pretty stiff, like I should have thought about that and I should have put less glue on it. See, and then it'll just keep going down. I'm probably going to end up laminating this is what I'm going to do. And I might make a separate video about that, like finishing that up. You can see how that works, but I'll use my, and see, just each time it's going to keep going in more, and that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to use my, my Mama Mink, because I use her as a laminator. Okay, so let's just keep decorating along, right? I love the screaming. I love the, Marisa, I love this kit. And I absolutely love using this, glitter paper from Walmart on fun images like this. I just think it's so much fun. So I'm going to try to cut this down as much as I can. And I did put Sweet Pea Curiosity's link at the very beginning of the chat when I came on because that's the kit that I'm using. So if you want to go check her out. And I'm going to try to stop saying and, just so you know. Okay. She fits on there perfectly, doesn't she? Look at her. And I will make her, I think, a tip out like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink her up just a little bit. And I apologize for any shaking that's happening, but I'm having an issue with my tripod that's connected to my desk. So I'm going to try to work on that. You could put lines on here if you want to. I do have a... or I did I do still. I have a lined stamp right here, so somebody could write notes on it, like about their favorite movie, or since this did inspire me for my Warner Brothers tour when I went to Stars Hollow at Christmas, you could write, like if you go on a tour like that or something, you can write like what your favorite movie is, or your favorite scary movie is, or I don't know, however you want to record the memory. Okay, so I did purchase this clear stamp from Michael's a while ago when they first started doing their own thing, when Joann's first started going out of business. So I did do that. Okay, so I'm just gonna ink up. This is how I'm gonna do it really quickly, just so we can give us some context of how our person wants to memory keep or whatever. I like to do a lot of junk journaling for memory keeping purposes, but a lot of other people want to write notes and they want to record things, or like to-do lists or reminders or whatever. Oh, you're definitely gonna have to find this glitter paper. I can only find it on Walmart.com now, but the price has stayed reasonable, so there we go. So I did get a little bit of shadowing there, but I'm not going to be mad about it. And I'm going to try to set this aside. And I'm going to get out my Tim Holtz tape. Now I'm kind of crafting myself into a little bit of a corner. And actually, I'm just going to hinge it up here. I think that that would be easier. I don't need to make things harder on me. And I'm going to trim it. Okay, I don't need to trim it down, I don't think. I do probably need to use my tweezers though. That would be nice. And see, we can just kind of keep making it like vintagey, like the flickers of the silver screen. And flip this up, we could put something right here, which I think would be a lot of fun to do. There's so much here that we could do. And we could write our own note right here. Maybe you want to put the person's name right there. That would be a lot of fun. And let's see, what else would we want to put there? I have these lovely ladies. I have more opportunity that you could write a note. You could write a note with like the gel pens that I have. You could write a note right here or just on the floor, something like that. Like that would be really pretty. I just think that that would be a lot of fun. So that's what I'm going to do. So there are men featured in this kit. I did not use them today because I was looking for more of like a Galentine's Day gift idea. I think I'm going to use that one. And then there's like kids on set and, you know, real old fashioned, like 20s attire, I'm assuming. I don't know. But, so that's basically the bulk of the project today. I'm going to continue to I'm going to continue to decorate it because this project can go by pretty quick. Like, I know I've been here like an hour, a little over an hour maybe. And most of that was, I did my show and tell at the beginning. We started out with some positive quotes and thank you. Tell your husband I said hi and thank you for sharing you. It was great to have you drop by, Tracy. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, and this I'm just going to glue down completely. And then we could write a note right here. And then so I'm leaving plenty of journaling space, right? So if you guys do catch me on the replay, please like and share if this does inspire you. And you can comment on the replay and we can get to know each other a little bit in this little crafty spot. I do like to do that on like other people's lives. That's how I've met a lot of people. Okay, so there we go. So like I said, we could just like write a note right here on the floor. That's kind of how I'm picturing it, but the person could just write a whole note right there. Okay. And then remember, I'm going to keep training this pocket with this. And because I also did use my Fabri-Tac glue to glue the stuff down on the other side, so it's a little bit thicker, right? I'm going to laminate this, and then that'll be able to slide this in and out nice and easy. So each time it goes down just a little bit farther. So I'm not going to stress out about that. I know I said I wanted to make this like a little tip out or a little pocket space, but I completely forgot to do that. So I'm going to leave that as it is. And like, let's put some other fun ladies in here. Let's see. We have a woman behind the camera, which was probably very much unheard of back then. And now we know some of the best movies in cinema are female created. It's really inspiring for all of us that want to do something a little bit more, right? And if film is your passion. My favorite thing to do when I watch movies is to watch a movie based on a book and read the book before the movie. That's honestly my favorite. Because then I like to compare and contrast. I do. Okay, I'm going to leave this as a pocket. I'm going to put my finger here so I know not to put glue there. And I'm going to try not to put too much glue around. And remember, this also is matted on this glitter paper, so it's also a little bit thicker, so that's why we're having a little bit of trouble right there, but I'm not going to stress out about that at all. And then let's see if we have a fun tag or something. Maybe one of these marquee things could come through here, and we could write like a little note, because I want to get a little bit more color into here. They could write a little note on the back. And I'm going to fussy cut this, and we'll see if I need to ink it up or not. We'll see how close and smooth we can get this. All right. Now, I know Ellen's having a little bit of snow today, but how's the weather where everybody else is? I was telling you guys a little bit earlier, I'm in San Diego, and it was like 90 yesterday. And it's a little bit cooler today, but it's very dry out. So I have my little diffusers going and trying to keep as much moisture in the air as I can. And then it's supposed to be a little bit colder towards the end of next week, I think, or the middle. But the thing with the weather here is, because I'm a little bit more inland, I'm not right by the beach, it'll get very dry and very cold at night and very hot during the day. So it's more like a desert climate. Although technically I'm not in the desert, I'm in the foothills, but there's that. Okay. So what I'm going to do, because this needs to fold over, I'm going to reach for my paper clips. I could paper clip this, but I do not want to cover over her, but we want to know that this person can journal or write notes on the back as well. Maybe they want to make a movie to-do list or memories, whatever it is. We want them to know that something is back there, because I do have to tuck this in all the way just because of how this is going to fold over. And I might have interrupted that fold just a little bit, but I'm gonna tie it shut anyway. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. And this is kind of the, maybe let's, I don't know if I can get around that little pokey part actually being here. Oh, I could, yeah, that's easier. So now I don't have the pokey part out. Okay, so there we have that. Now we want to decorate a little bit over here. Let me put my paper clips aside. And what I did, the image that I really did, oh, this. I really, really like this image. I just think it's fun. So I'm going to trim that down the best I can. Oh, I'm glad you love this project, Ellen. I thought it was a great idea from typical like journaling or card making. And it's really good to, you know, I'm upcycling the tea box too, right? I'm keeping it out of the landfill. Okay, I do want to get these lights on it. I just do. So, where did I put my pen? Here we go. So I just thought it would be like a fun project. And there's so many images in this kit that I'm also able to use more images in this fun kit. So it is going to be a little bit off-centered, which I'm okay with. I don't need everything to be perfect, matchy. But if that does bother you, maybe just kind of be mindful when you pick your image, how you would want it. I'm actually thinking using my deck ledge trimmer for some of these images would have been fun, but I didn't do that with any other image, and so I'm not just going to do it with one or two. It'd either be all or none, I think. So I kind of contradicted myself, like I don't like everything samey. But if it's going to be a square project, I kind of want everything in it to be square, so it's more pleasing to your eyes. And I just completely glued that whole thing down, and I was going to make another pocket for myself. But what I'm going to do instead is write a note. And I bumped the camera, I apologize. To you. You are beautiful. And amazing. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and write the date down here. So we can do a fun little inspiration for our friends. And now we have one more right here. And I am going to make that a pocket. Don't let me forget. And I might even be able to put a few images on the front too, which would be a lot of fun. Okay, so we do have more. But wait, there's more. There's plenty more. And I didn't even, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even print out everything either. Like that is fun. There's more of the mirror images. I think that that's a lot of fun too. The tags. I didn't print out everything that this kit has to offer either, honestly. There's more of that glitter paper. I absolutely love this stuff. This is fun and it adds a little bit of color inside. So I think I want to use this image. And I'm going to trim it down the best I can. I really like this as well. And then you could write stuff on that. I'm going to have to trim this down a decent amount, I think, but let's first cut off the edges and see what I have left to work with. And you could also fold this back up into a tea box if you wanted to, and then not fold in the flaps and glue them down like I did. You could do that. And you could put things inside of the box. So I might be cutting off the camera just a little bit. I'm just realizing, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, that I'm not going to be able to cut just straight like that because that's an odd angle for me to see. So I'm going to use my paper trimmer over off to the side. And I did cut off just a little bit of the camera, but it's okay. So we still have everything falling in front of me. We still have the background a little bit. And I'm just going to continue to clean off my brush with this. And I said I'm making this a pocket, so I'm going to put my finger here so I don't forget. And you could slide a little note in here. I'll probably put a little folded piece of paper in here. I'll put it just like that. And this is where I think I want to incorporate the mixed media flower. And this is also from Sweet Pea Curiosities. Like, let me put some things out of the way. I'm making a decent sized mess now. I love these flowers. You could resize these too with your printer settings. I'm not great at it. And Marisa is really good at making different sizes of these. So if you do check that out over there. I'm not able to get every nook and cranny of the petal, but I do my best. And I just love how there's like little book pages in here. And you can ink it up. She has birds and butterflies, I think, too. I know she has birds, but I think she has butterflies as well. So the vintage sepia colors. Yeah, I really like that about this, the Flicker of the Silver Screen kit, is there's a lot of that you can play up on, because I like that. Especially with the images. I think it's really fun. So, and you know, I did my little flecks of red in here and right here so they know to pull something out. And I'm still debating if I want to do a Velcro closure or a ribbon closure. And I'm kind of leaning towards a ribbon closure because we could use a fun little ribbon. I have a black and white ribbon that I'm thinking of too. But Velcro might be a little bit more sturdy. So I don't know. What would you guys do with a thick, it's a thick little cardboard project. But maybe if I did the bow and then when we untie the bow, it kind of comes jumping out at you like an exploding box. And if you wanted to do this as a Galentine's Day gift or a birthday gift or even, you know, any other occasional gift, you could adhere like a gift card somewhere in here. Like the gift card could be here or, you know, whatever. Like we're flipping this up. Well, or I'm trying to. You know, you could tuck a gift card in here and write the note here, however you want. Like that would be fun. Okay, let's finish cutting this. I get distracted when I'm cutting sometimes. So sometimes when I'm gonna do a lot of fussy cutting, I'll turn on like a TV show. I have a TV over here in my craft area that rotates the room, so that's kind of fun. Or I'll be watching YouTube videos, I'll watch people's lives, and I'll have my computer on, I'll be able to comment and kind of keep up with the friendly crafty community and all of that. I am going to ink this up just because I want to do a little bit of inking on the back. And I'm going to have to fold this, and I'm probably going to have to cut this down. So I am aware of that, but I just don't know how much of it I'm going to have to cut down right yet. So I am doing the inking now. So I'm kind of making double the work for myself, and I'm hoping to get the whole flower in there. I'm hopeful. So that's what I'm hoping. And we're going to fold it down. I'm probably going to have to cut off the edge. I know I will. Okay, so this is where I'm going to have to get in my, see, because everything's just a little bit thicker because of the cardboard. And I think that paper came up a little bit because I don't think it was all the way dry. And that's really, I didn't think ahead of that part of it. There you go. So I poked all the way through. Just nice. Nice, nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this down. I should have used, what I should have done is printed these flowers off on, there we go. Tuck it in. Ink it up. And I'm going to have to put a little bit more glue right there, but I'm not mad at it. And ahead and get out this. So that kind of stays. And I am going to put just a little bit more glue right here where I tore it off. Okay. Gotta put my, okay. So as you can see, it's gonna be really thick, right? So I don't know that the Velcro is gonna do me any help here. So I am gonna use the bow. So it's gonna be like an exploding little tea box, I think, because then it just kind of pops open. These, I think I'm just gonna leave like this. What I am gonna do is get out some tea dye paper. And I have a fun little background stamp that I'm gonna use. So there's a little bit more note-taking space, if you will. And then I'm not making this way too much thicker, if that makes sense. I think I probably said that wrong, but it's okay. So I'm gonna make this quite, oops. Let's put this up over here. I want to trim it down so you can still see the silver embossed paper on the back. So I just have my there we go, like that. And I could use that, I'm going to use some tape, and I could use that stamp again, or I could use this, which is, I kind of wanted to do this like off to the side. I just thought that that would be a cute idea. And then we don't have to follow any lines. So I'm going to try to get in frame here. Okay. And then we see we just have that. And let's get out our Tim Holtz tape that I have here too on my messy desk. Now we know why Mary calls it a mess, right? On Craft Roulette. Haha. Okay. Okay, let's peel that up because mine's not working. There it goes. There it goes. Okay. And we're just going to put it right there so we can flip it up. We can record anything here. We can write a note. We can write a note on the back. Like that kind of gives them the freedom of their own journaling space too, right? These I'm just going to leave blank right here. And it doesn't matter which one is up further, I don't think. So this is a pretty thick little box. Okay. Okay, let's put another little, probably, oops. I want to put another little image from the project. I did like these images. I think that this one was really fun, but I might have to cut this down too much. And it's going to thicken it up a little bit more. So I don't know if that's necessarily what I'm going for at this moment either. But let's see. I'm going to cut this down. Like I said, I'm going to make cards out of my scraps. And they're not scraps really, but I'm going to make cards out of my leftovers from this project. And I'll post those on Instagram. And I'm going to try to post some stills. And I'm definitely going to do a flip through. And I will do that. Yeah, I think I would have to cut these guys off too much. And then it kind of loses the plot of them. But I'm definitely going to be posting this. I wanted to cut out just the film roll, but I probably could just fit the whole tag right there. Okay, so I'm going to cut this down. And for the sake of not making any more bulk, I'm not going to put a ribbon through here. I'm probably not going to put an embellishment on there. I could, however, I think. There we go. Just like that. Maybe I'll ink up the edge because I didn't go all the way down. I don't really have like a mat on it. I was thinking, but I don't think I have my hole punch within reach. I could kind of hole punch it. I might just hinge it right here. Hinge it and then you can lift it up. There we go. Okay. And I'm just going to use more of the Tim Holtz tape. I'm trying to see, oh, it's right here. I moved it. Here, I was trying to be more organized. I was like, my crocodile's normally over there. Where is it? Let me see if I can do the hole punch here. What I was thinking is hole punching. Did that not work? Oh, it did a little bit. That little, to have some sort of an embellishment, I just hole punched the glitter paper, and I can glue that down instead of like putting a full-on embellishment there, just so it kind of zhuzhes it up, just the image up just a little bit. And I probably put too much glue right there because it's a really small image, so it'll come seeping out, but it's fine. It dries clear. It dries clear. And another thing, this is like a bookbinding glue, so it's a little bit of a thicker glue too. So that just kind of adds like a little bit of something. And what I'm gonna do, instead of hinging it up, I'm gonna hinge it out to the side. Let's start, if I start putting like a few things away, I'll be able to find what I'm looking for. I do not know where I put my, my Tim Holtz tape. It's probably in here. I have more in front of me. If I can't find it, that's fine. Okay. Okay, I'm getting a little bit out of control over here. See, they do thicker ones too. Where did I put that? How weird. I don't know where I put it, but I did just purchase a brand new one. Oh, right here. Here's my thinner. Oh, might be out. Oh, this one's completely out. Okay. See, it comes with thin and thick, so that's what's nice about this. I know I have that other one on my desk somewhere, and when I end my live, I'm gonna find it. I know I will. Okay, so here's a piece of tape. And I'm probably gonna put, because it's small, well no, maybe. There we go. And it just hinges out like that, you see? Let's try not to get any grunge on her. The beautiful screaming lady. I pretty much cleaned off my brush pretty well. Okay, so there we go. So I'm gonna fold it, and then I'll kind of go through it. Oh, I forgot the cover. I do want to have a picture on the cover, so we kind of get the gist that it is a Galentine's Day gift. And I'm going to use one of these lovely ladies. Right, okay. Now it's all like wanting to fall apart. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like that, and then I can use one of these ladies. She's a lot of fun, so is she. She's fun too, though. That really like gets in. I think I like that one a little bit because like the underneath of her like umbrella is really contrasted in this picture. And I like that. Okay, so is this a project that you would do with an old tea box, or has this just been too much? Like, is this too labor intensive for you? Or is this something that you would want to do on your own and make like a little exploding little journal for a friend or a loved one, or yourself? Like, we can make ourselves things too. I buy myself lots of journals. There we go. And I'm just going to glue her down directly. I hope you guys have had a lot of fun. I know we've had a lot of people pop in and out, and I'm really appreciative for that, so thank you. And if you weren't able to stick around for the whole thing, I hope you're watching on replay, and let me know if you're a replay crew and what you think of the project. And if you're live here with me, let me know what you think of the project. Now, because this is a glitter paper, it's not necessarily thicker. It might be a little bit thicker. No, it's about the same weight. These two are the same weight, but I like to hold it down just a little bit more, probably because I'm thinking it's glitter, and so it needs to go down. We could do a fun picture on the back and then like write a note if we wanted to on the back of it. Or because like we have her again, we had a screaming girl, right? She was fun. She's very reflective. She's reflecting very well on what we just saw. That's what I'm going to do. It's either going to be her or her, but she's the last sheet that I have. Thank you for joining, Lisa. I'm glad you had fun. I'm going to do a flip through, and then I'll post some stills on my Instagram, and I'll do a post here once this uploads. Now, my lives take a while to upload. I know this has been a pretty long one, so thank you for sticking with me. It takes a while. Like, this won't, I don't know why. It is a YouTube thing. I talked to a friend about it, and she's like, some of mine do that too. They'll, you know, take an hour and a half, or they're taking like 6 hours to upload for it to be a replay. So I don't know what the method to YouTube's madness is with that, like what determines what uploads fast or not. So once this is uploaded and ready for like a replay watch is probably when I will post the flip throughs and the stills, because then it'll make a little bit more sense. So I just trimmed her down just nicely. And she's going to be the end. She's going to be the end of the project. So she's reflecting on what she just saw or what we just wrote down. And I'm going to get out the ribbon. We're going to tie it, and then we'll do like a little flip through here if you're still hanging with me. You're welcome, Lisa. I had fun too. I think I already commented, but sorry. I'm trying to look at the comments on my son's old cell phone, and then I have my laptop next to me as well. So I can comment if I need to. Okay, so here we are. The ribbon that I had in mind, and then this I'm still going to work on training this pocket. to get it in here a little bit more. Now, hindsight, what I should have done is I should have made this the pocket and not all the way back here, because it's kind of too thick for this to get in and out of. But like I said, if I just keep on training it with my now I'm ripping it, but it's okay, bone folder, it'll go in a little bit farther. So what I might do, now I'm gonna have to glue that little piece that I did kind of tear. And that's gonna be fine. I might cut this down. And then go like this, so we can have it that way. And kind of really grunge it up a little bit. So then now that I can get in there. If you can see it, can you see it? I'm shaking again, so those are my apologies. Okay, you can see my messy hoard, my messy ribbon hoard here. I was thinking this ribbon, because I just thought that that would be a fun little contrast for the end. Or I have something like this, and it kind of goes with the whole sepia tone that we have going on. I have a gold, but this is Dollar Tree ribbon, I think, and it doesn't tie well. It's like thick and funky, so I don't use it a whole lot. I think I'm gonna settle between these two. And the first one, I like the first one too. Hey, who's your mama? Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, it goes with the theme. That's what I figured, and that's kind of what I was thinking when I pulled down that box from the closet. I was like, that looks good. Okay. So, like, let's get this off. Let's get my ribbon cutting scissors, because there's scissors for everything in here. I'm going to take a sip of my tea because it's so dry out. And then so we have little things sticking out of it, and this all from a tea box. Now it looks like it's busting at the seams because it kind of is. I will glue this down. I'll put my Fabri-Tac in here, but this is a pretty good tea box. It's not really flimsy. It was a thick tea box. So if you wanted to get like a tea box that maybe is a little bit thinner paper, you could do that too. Like, I didn't really, this is just what I had. And I was like, that's where like the inspiration's kind of coming from, was the whole tea box thing. I'm not perfect at tying bows or, you know, whatever. I'm just not, but I just want to tie it and then I can trim it down. Okay. There I go. Oops. And we could kind of make this as fun or whatever as we want. I like it like that. I think that this is fun. Let me try to get all of the other distracting stuff out of the way, and we can do a flip through. So this is going to be the front. This is the back. And then I am going to do some Fabri-Tac right here, and then I'm just going to leave it alone and let it dry is what I'm going to do. And that's just going to stabilize the spine a little bit more. I'm going to untie it, and then I'm going to open it, and we have plenty of journaling space. And then we have a pocket right here. And then we have a tip out up here, and then I did the lines, and then this, just remember, I was like, we could write a note right here. These I'm leaving the way it is. We could put a gift card right here. We could put up whatever we wanted. We could put the recipient's name if we wanted, the date, whatever it is. And then we have a fun little pocket right back in here. If my finger can grab this at the same time. If my finger can't, theirs can't. So we have that going on. And I'm gonna put that as much as I can. And then we have this flower coming out of here. And this is still drying, so it's a little bit. And then we could write a note right there. We could put like a fun little gift, or maybe I want to write a saying from my book of positive quotes. This I'm still kind of training too and letting it dry at the same time. So that's on me. There we go. I was putting it in. I think I was maybe, I don't know, I felt like I was putting it in the wrong way, but so we have a little bit of that white space there, but we grunged it up. To you, you are beautiful and amazing. Love 2026. There we go. So let's put these away. And then there's the end of it. And then I'm going to attempt to tie it again. It won't be as cute as the first time, but we will try to get there. And that is our project for the day. That is Self-Care Sunday, guys. Do something fun. Do something that you love. Surround yourself with people that are good and gracious and good for your mental health. Have a great week. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Who's Your Mama. It is cute. I liked it. I really liked the idea. I'm going to firm up a few places so it won't rip because I did stuff this full. And then that's just going to take probably a few hours to dry, but that's okay because this live will take probably the rest of the day to load. So if you're watching on the replay, thank you. If you're here live, thank you. And I hope you all have a great, blessed week. And I hope you all have a long weekend. I'm on call tomorrow. I'm the supervisor on call, but you know what? I don't have to go into the office, and that makes me happy. So I will see you guys next Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I am going to come out with a video in between now and then. I tried to this last week, but I just didn't have time. But that's what I will be doing this next week. I will see you guys later, and I'll try to exit gracefully if I can, if my phone will allow me to. And let's see.